Welcome to the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast with your host, hailing from Kaukauna, Wisconsin, riding a CST tires, SSI decals, Valvoline back Yamaha YFC 450R, four-time ATV Motocross National Champion, number 25, Cody Jansen.
What's up, everybody?
We're back!
Welcome to the latest edition of the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast, episode 127 of the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast, presented by our title sponsor, CST Tires, in stock and available for purchase today at shop.csttires.com. I'm your host, Cody Jansen, saying hello to our nearly 242,000 monthly Digging Deep listeners in all 105 countries in which you are listening, and this is our 2023 ATV Motocross Awards Banquet Recap Show. Jeremy Osborn will join us for this one as we chat about this year's Night of Champions, outline the specialty awards that were decided, hit on some of ATV Motocross's current events, all before taking a quick look ahead to 2024. But before anything else, let's quickly shout out all of our incredible partners. CST Tires, go to shop.csttires.com today. Yamaha, thanks to Blue Crew. Thanks to SSI Decals, Valvoline, DID Racing Chain, Namura Technologies, Bronco ATV and UTV Components, Launderville Steel Enterprises and Concrete Supply, the financial advice of the Haymauer Financial Group, DP Brakes, Factory 43, Binky's Forever ATC Museum, Impact Solutions, Ultimate Poly Products, UPP Racing, our choice when it comes to case savers, chain sliders, intake manifolds, and more, and Manscaped to get 20% off and free shipping with code DIGGINGDEEP20 at manscaped.com. Get the best stocking stuffer of the season by going to manscaped.com and using code DIGGINGDEEP20 for 20% off plus free shipping. Whether it's the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, the GOAT of electric razor trimmers, my favorite, the Beard Hedger Pro Kit from Manscaped, or the best nose hair trimmer ever created, the Weed Whacker 2.0, get 20% off and free shipping with code DIGGINGDEEP20 at manscaped.com. So rad that Manscaped is continuing to invest in ATV Motocross as a longtime partner of Digging Deep, but we rely on you to keep this rare outside the industry sponsor in the fold and involved in ATV racing by using our Digging Deep 20 code so they know you enjoy digging deep and what we're all about. Support all the great companies that support us, and for any products that fall through the cracks, click that Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner on our website to help us out. Preparations for the 2024 season should already be in full swing, and no matter what off-road gear parts you need, Rocky Mountain ATVMC has you covered. But before you buy, simply click the Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner on our website. By using our specific link, we get a percentage of what you buy on the back end, enabling you to help us out while purchasing the parts you need anyway. And didn't you know you could buy OEM parts from Rocky Mountain ATVMC as well? Yep, shipped conveniently right to your door. So click that Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner at diggingdeepatvmx.com to help us out while satisfying all your gear and parts needs. No new donors to shout out this week, but shout out to all of our past and present donors. If you are interested in donating and hearing your name on the show, you can find the Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee donation links on our website. Major thanks to all who have donated, of course. Now, if you can't donate, but you still want to help us out, you can leave us a rating or review on iTunes and Spotify. That's a major help to us too. It helps let our partners know that you enjoy Digging Deep and want to keep us around long into the future. Now, it's showtime. The 30-second board is up. It's sideways, and the gate is down. Time to dig deep.
Let's go!
All right, guys, we're back here with another episode of the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast, and tonight we're going to recap some of the events and the happenings from this past weekend's 2023 ATV Motocross National Championship Awards Banquet. And joining the show to help fill us all in, brought to you by Ultimate Poly Products, UPP Racing has been producing American-made case savers, chain sliders, intake manifolds, and more since 1998. Join top pro riders like Bryson Neal, Walker Fowler, John Glotta Jr., Adam McGill, Cole Richardson, and more by using UPP Racing's industry-leading products. Use discount code DIGGINGDEEP15 at uppracing.com to save on your next order. And joining us, it's Briarcliff track owner turned to ATVMX do-it-all guy, Jeremy Osborn, joining us here courtesy of UPP Racing. Jeremy, last time we were chatting about our Digging Deep Briarcliff Ride Day. Now we're here chatting about another awards banquet. We were doing this just a year ago. It feels like yesterday. So welcome back to Digging Deep. Appreciate you always making time for us, pal.
No, thank you very much, Cody. I'll always help, where and when I can. And it was a very good banquet. It went off pretty well. We had, some technical glitches, but the facility was amazing. Everybody was in a pretty good mood. Things worked like clockwork, and it was a good banquet.
I love to hear that. So as we briefly mentioned on the last episode that you were on 2 episodes ago, the Kalahari in Sandusky, Ohio was the place to be this past Saturday night. Shout out Tommy Boy for what was referred to, or what has been referred to, the Night of Champions. And in the past, I thought the Kalahari made an awesome location to celebrate, Jeremy. So yeah, fill me in. I think it's a awesome location. There's more stuff to do than just the banquet. You've really focused on kind of streamlining the banquet thing and making it not so that we're sitting there at 1 o'clock in the morning like we have done in the past and all these things. So just fill us in a little bit on how the night went. Obviously it went off well, like you said, but fill us in a little bit more on the details.
Yeah, things clicked off pretty well. We really kind of studied the program and made a lot of changes in order to make it more efficient, but still give people their recognition time. I don't know. It just is time management, just like a race. You try to be efficient and move the thing along and keep going. And it also helps that I think the racers want to see the night move along as well. So thanks to them, they were on time. We never had to wait for any group to get up there and get their awards or to get on stage, and everybody was pretty cognizant of time and with their thank you speeches. We appreciate that. And yeah, it's a group effort. It's not just us running it. The racers are a part of it too.
Yeah, well, and I get that there's a lot to maneuver there too, right? Like everybody wants to get their time and kind of be able to talk and probably showcase some sponsors, speak on the season, all those things. But at the same time, like you said, you kind of got to keep the program moving as well. So there's a lot to balance there. But I know in these last couple of years where you've been kind of helping with this banquet process, you've definitely inserted some life into this whole thing, which has been really fun to see. And one of the first updates that I saw from the banquet was the table for the Molander family. And obviously, yes, I don't know who was behind all of that, but that sure was a special thing. Whoever did that knocked it out of the park, and what an amazing act in memory of the Molander family. So I wanted to comment on that for sure, because that was a really, really special thing to see.
That was primarily spearheaded by the Newell family and Jason Osborn and his family. They had a custom tablecloth made. They did all that. Awesome. I had some people asking me about posters, and I said, not that I had zero part in it. I had knowledge of it, but I cannot take any credit for that. Those families did that pretty much on their own. I just orchestrated table 13 and another 8-foot table and got it skirted, and they took it from there. They deserve all the kudos to what they did for the Molander family. It was pretty touching, all the photos and the posters, and I think everybody appreciated that part of the banquet for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. What a special thing. So I wanted to comment on it for sure. They're still here with us and their legacy still lives on. So that was pretty special. Kind of shifting gears then though to, kind of what goes down at the banquet, obviously heading into the banquet every year. We know who won the titles, of course, and it is fun, obviously, to celebrate the champions. That's what it's all about. It's their day. I know that feeling as a past champion as well. That's something that's really special as a racer. That part we have figured out. We know who won the classes, but the specialty awards are something that everybody anticipates going into these awards banquets every year. And I'd like to cover those. Actually, that's probably dating back to last year when I got the idea to kind of cover the banquet and wake of it. the specialty awards were very much a motivating factor for that. So let's kind of get into that, starting with that Junior Youth Racer of the Year award. And we know our nominees were Ethan Cornell, Styles West, and Lillian Plaza. So, Jeremy, if you could fill us in on who won that Junior Youth Racer of the Year award.
The Junior Youth Racer of the Year award was won by Ethan Cornell, and he had 4 championships.
That's insane.
Which is nuts. The kid is just an animal. He definitely kind of stood out a little bit, even though I feel like Styles was pretty dominant in his classes.
Yep.
I mean, he won 90 shifter and in 90 open. He was very dominant. But we went to a little bit different program this year to assess these specialty awards. And Ethan compiled a few more points because of his championships and just kind of edged out Styles there. It was pretty close.
And obviously it's going to be splitting hairs, right? When you're talking about the best of the best, the standout racers, all these things. I mean, they're going to have multiple championships, right? But
Right.
Jeremy, when you have 4 titles in a single season, I mean, I don't want to call it a shoe-in to win an award, but man, it'd be hard to argue against that. Like again, Styles West dominant every year. It feels like he's going,
Right.
He's got quite the career ahead of him. He's got quite the career behind him as well. He's just been phenomenal throughout his young career. But Ethan Cornell, when you rack up 4 championships, man, I don't know how you can argue against that. Like, very deserving winner, I would say.
I based on the machines he was riding and how much he was riding.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Dad Jeff or Joel's mechanic that got mechanic of the year. I mean, he probably put his dad through the ringer. Ethan probably put his dad through the ringer pretty good on mechanic. So.
Yeah. No, I have so much respect, man. Like, you know that process even better than me as you mechanicked your way through Kinsey's young career. But I have so much respect for these dads that keep these things running, man. It's insane.
Right. And Styles did take home a specialty award. He was voted most feared JB Racing's most feared youth racer.
Nice.
So he took home some specialty hardware, even though he didn't quite get the junior racer of the year, but he did take home some specialty hardware for himself.
Good. Well, that's obviously very deserving. Like I said, Styles slays it every single year. It feels like the kid either wins or maybe falls off the side of that thing trying, but he's a champion for sure. But yeah, the 4 titles for Ethan Cornell, 2 titles, like you said, for Styles West and that most feared youth rider. So that's very deserving as well. And obviously Lillian Plaza, just throwing your name, kind of like we said with Tom Ebden on the last episode, having your name in the nominee category for any of these awards is very special in itself. So moving on to the Senior Youth Racer of the Year, Noah Arnold, Landon Korn, and Jaden Powell. Who do we have there, Jeremy?
Noah Arnold just edged out Jaden Powell, and a lot of that had to do with we assigned some championship bonus points, and the Youth All-Star is the premier youth class, and it's weighted a slightly heavier than the other youth championships.
Okay.
So Noah won senior, and he won Youth All-Star, and it just had a little bit more bonus points assigned to those two. Jaden had a great season, won 2 championships.
Yeah.
Noah just had a slightly better one.
Yeah. So I've said on a lot of these shows with both of these guys, and obviously Landon Korn as well, but I've been on these shows saying how big of a fan of Noah Arnold and Jaden Powell, how big of a fan I am of both of those riders. Obviously, pretty bright futures ahead of both of them, and probably a fitting end to what I believe is the end of Noah Arnold's 250 career. What a fitting end. We've been talking about all the championships he has to his name and all these things, and I think he's probably going to be a rider that we're talking about a lot here in the future as we move on to the 450 classes with him. So fitting Senior Youth Racer of the Year award there for Noah Arnold.
I talked to his dad on the way home for a little bit, and
okay.
I I'd either forgotten this or maybe didn't realize it, but that was his third straight youth all-star championship, I believe.
That's insane.
Which is pretty remarkable. I think the first year he raced 250s, that might have been the one he got away from Mason Jackson. I'd have to double check that, but I believe that's the case. And that, I mean, he won senior youth last year, and he won it this year, and he's won youth all-star, the championship, I think 3 years in a row. So that's quite the accomplishment for anybody.
Man. It sure is, especially to think of like a rider generally, maybe you race it 4 years, maybe you race it 250 4 years, but like not super often does that happen. So yeah, to think that, you won 3 in a row, that's basically doing it your first year. You almost have to be able to do that. And you're probably looking at a record that could maybe be tied, but probably not to win it. I mean, there's people that win 3 250 titles, but to win it in the same class 3 consecutive years, that's a pretty darn special thing.
Yeah, you pretty much have to do it age 13, 14, 15.
Exactly what I was thinking. Exactly. To think that you win it in that 13 year when you're racing dudes that are in their 15 or 16 year, that's, I mean, think about the growth as an athlete and a racer from 13 to 15 or 16. It's insane. So to do that like we've said on so many episodes, so many times, but Noah Arnold, man, is going to be a rider to watch. So like I said, fitting way to cap his 250 season or 250 career there, I should say.
Yep, his youth career, I think, is pretty much over, and he's on to amateur racing, and I don't think they're 100% sure where he's going to land, but it's probably going to be A class or up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. He's going to be a threat on a 450. That's for sure.
Yeah. That's probably a pretty easy thing to say at this point. But yeah, so then moving on, next one would be the amateur racer of the year. Nominated for this one was Casey Fancher, who you saw all season long alongside Kinsey in the B classes. Tom Ebden, who was a guest on our last episode, awesome guest, really enjoyed him on the show. And then Mason Jackson, of course. I think I know who won this one. I think I could have told you who was going to win this one going in, but who won the amateur racer of the year, Jeremy? We'll get right back to the show, but now a word from our sponsors. And thank you for listening to these ads. Without these great companies, none of this would be possible. Show your support for the people who support us. The official tire choice of Digging Deep, CST tires are the choice of ATV racing's elite on the track, in the woods, and every other terrain. CST tires swept the ATV racing world in 2022 as Joel Hetrick, Bryson Neal, and Bo Barron rode their Pulse MXR and Pulse HT tires to an ATV Pro Motocross title, GNCC XC1 Pro title, and 10th ATV Pro Works Racing title, respectively. Led by champion Joel Hetrick and podium contenders Bryce Ford, Jeffrey Rastrelli, and Nick Janusa, CST's Pulse MXR tire is the most trusted tire in ATV motocross today. Available in soft and standard compounds, the Pulse MXR offers the highest level of traction, most predictable cornering, and superior wear characteristics when compared to the competition. And did I mention they have a contingency program as well? Visit shop.csttires.com to join the CST takeover today, or prepare to be beat by someone who did. The best of the best choose CST. Do you? You know we're Team Blue Crew here at the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast, as the Yamaha YFZ450R is the official ATV of Digging Deep. In a move started by 8-time ATVMX Pro Class National Champion Chad Wienen, who with his next championship will become the winningest champion in ATV motocross history, we are living in ATV racing's YFZ450R era. Alongside Wienen, 7-time GNCC XC1 Pro ATV National Champion Walker Fowler welcomed a pair of new champions to the Yamaha Champions Club, as the podium-proven Yamaha YFZ450R proved to be the winning choice for Joel Hetrick and Bryson Neal. This unprecedented success for the YFZ450R, its unrivaled quality and performance, and the clear fact that Yamaha is the leading OEM supporter of ATV racing has resulted in a complete Yamaha takeover within the sport quad market. Evident by the continuation of Yamaha's Blue Crew Racer Support Program, Yamaha riders will once again cash in on payout and prize opportunities in 2023, including a chance to win a brand new YFZ450R. For more info, head over to YamahaBlueCrew.com. Follow Yamaha Outdoors as well as the new Blue Crew official channel on social media, and check out Yamaha's full proven off-road lineup at YamahaOutdoors.com today. SSI Decals, your way. SSI Decals sets the standard with the best looking decals, graphics kits, and vinyl wraps in the industry. Established in 1947, SSI took shape as an offshoot of their parent company by doing a little work for local pro Chad Wienen. Nearly 2 decades later, and fueled by a passion for ATVs, the company has flourished into one of ATV Moto's most recognized brands. From ATV Motocross, SSI has expanded into graphics and design work for top racers in GNCC, Works Racing, Pro Motocross and Supercross, off-road, and more, headlined by 8-time world champion top fuel drag racer Clay Milliken. Whether your project is big or small, SSI Decals will make your identity stick. Get started today at SSIDecals.com and use code DIGGINGDEEP10 for 10% off at checkout. Things are about to get sick. The Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast is brought to you in part by DID and their wide range of championship-winning chains. From the street to the track and everywhere in between, DID chains are designed to give you the optimal riding experience with great performance and increased chain life. Consistent to the core, pick up your box of reliability today. DID, what drives you?
We are proud to be partnered with Namura Technologies. For over 20 years, Namura has pushed the limit of value and reliability in the ATV and side-by-side market. Covering more applications than anyone in the industry, Namura's full line of cast and forged pistons, connecting rods, gasket kits, and industry-leading top-end repair kits and more have led to higher overall engine performance for your machine. Visit your local dealer or online at www.namura.com and follow along on Instagram for giveaways and exciting new products in 2023. Namura Technologies, your one-stop shop engine component supplier. We are pleased to be partnered with Bronco ATV and UTV Components. Bronco has been an industry leader in replacement hard parts and accessories for all makes and models for over 15 years. With a catalog that includes a full line of electrical components, engine internals and cylinders, shock and suspension parts, winches, clutch kits, valves, carb kits, bearing kits, and drive chain parts, Bronco is your hard parts source for whatever you need, for whatever you ride. Available exclusively through distributors around the world, visit your local dealer or online at broncoatv.com.
For over 150 years, Valvoline has been dedicated to constant improvement and innovation across all disciplines of racing. As a proud member of Team Valvoline for nearly a decade, I have witnessed their unwavering commitment to pushing the boundaries of performance. Valvoline has sponsored some of the greatest names in motorsports, solidifying their position as a powerhouse within the industry. Being a part of this historically great team has been an incredible privilege. When it comes to my equipment, whether it's my daily commuting vehicles, race quads, or anything in between, I trust nothing but Valvoline. Their range of products and lubricants consistently deliver increased horsepower, durability, and engine life. I'm excited to announce Valvoline's breakthrough in performance, Valvoline Ultimate Power Sports. With up to 8 times stronger rust protection and 50% better wear protection, this cutting-edge formula ensures your ATV's engine runs smoother and longer for the ultimate ride. Tackle rugged terrains with confidence knowing your ATV's engine is equipped with the best protection available. Ready to experience the next level of performance? Head over to shop.valvolineglobal.com and use code DIGGINGDEEP10 at checkout to unlock an exclusive 10% off on your purchase. Don't miss out on this limited time offer to enhance your ATV's performance with Valvoline's Ultimate Power Sports engine oil. Who won the Amateur Racer of the Year, Jeremy?
Mason Jackson.
Yeah.
Pretty tough to beat. And really, honestly, if you win Pro Sport and Pro Am,
yeah,
I don't know of another combination that beats that. That's that's 2 of the 4 premier championships.
Yeah, exactly.
And one of those premier classes is ineligible for amateur. So right. Yeah, when you win 2 out of the 3 you can race, that's pretty good. That's pretty good year.
Absolutely. No, like you said, if you win Pro-Am and Pro Sport, I think you're pretty much a shoe-in for this award. Nothing against Casey Fancher, who I believe won 2 B-class championships and was clearly the guy to beat in the B-class. Tom Ebden, like we said on the last episode, he was awesome in his 2 classes, a 16 to 24 and an A-class. So again, credit to all 3 of these riders. It's awesome to be nominated, but nobody was going to beat Mason Jackson for this award. He added this award, the Amateur Racer of the Year award, to the mantle alongside his 2023 Digging Deep Dane Molander Rising Star Award that we awarded him. But yeah, to think the season that Mason Jackson had, like we said to him, I think you and I might have been standing there alongside him at the ride day, at the Digging Deep ride day, when I said to him, man, you weren't even supposed to be on a Yamaha. You were supposed to be on a hybrid with a KTM motor and all these things. And then, you know, he hops on Timmy's quad there. I think it was in Texas, maybe for the first time, because I think he was on his quad still at Gatorback. And I think if I remember correctly, that's how it went down. And then, yeah, to think that he finishes the season with both of these titles, riding the Yamaha then the rest of the way. Shoots, it's just insane. And I cannot freaking wait to see this guy add his name to our class of pro class racers. It's going to be a blast to watch.
It definitely should be exciting. I'm always excited to watch Mason ride. He's just a high energy guy, and he rides at a high intensity, and he just leaves it all out there on the track. So it'll be kind of cool to watch him jump in there and see what he can do.
Going to forget the person who said this, but somebody wrote online in one of our posts about Mason or what have you in these last couple months, that him and Cody Ford should race straight up to hold the rights to the number 5. So I don't think that that's going to happen, but will also be interesting to see what number Mason goes with, because Cody Ford's going to have that number 5 here in the pro class. For since I've watched him race, 2018, and I guess I've seen pictures from back beyond, he's always been number 5. What they're going to do there. And cause his, I believe they get that number from their dad, Ron. Okay.
And Mason, I think so. I'm not 100% on that, but he is 53. So
5 and 3. Got it.
So I don't know. Maybe he'll go to 53. I'd have.
Maybe we'll go to 53. That would be cool. It'd be like
Corey.
Like to see the 53 in there, like Corey Ellis. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. And then there's also I guess you could double up the 55. Maybe it wouldn't be right on the heels of Logan Stanfield, kind of walking away. We saw him kind of announce his retirement from professional ATV racing last week. So it's going to be sad to not see the 55 out there. I've loved that, obviously. Big Doug Gus fan. So it's fun to see the 55 out there. Not going to see that anymore. I guess that would be an option as well.
Yeah. Maybe he'll go triple digit. Just
yeah, maybe
the 155 or the 153 or the 105. I don't know.
Yeah, there you go. We'll see, but that'll be a topic to monitor as well. How about the ATV Silverback Award? Our nominees were Jeff Robbins, Jason Jackson, and Dustin Seifert. Could anyone knock off Jeff Robbins though? I don't know if that's really possible, Jeremy.
You're like no.
Yeah,
the guy is pretty much kind of become a vet legend here.
Yeah.
I think he's won 30 and 40 plus AB 3 years, maybe 4 years running. I don't even know now. He's been pretty much been unstoppable.
Yeah, he sure has. I joked as I was writing my, kind of my questions and my script and stuff here that you may have to just name this award after him here in future years, Jeremy.
Well, I actually somewhat created this award because of him. I thought here's in the vet racing world that should have some sort of award to recognize how well he races. Maybe he cannot compete with amateur of the year like Mason Jackson, but in his world he is a amateur of the year. So he was kind of the inspiration for that, to be honest.
Yeah, I do think I remember you saying that now, as we talked about this in the last couple of years here. But yeah, I don't remember when I did it. Like, I don't even know if it was last year at this time. It might have been the season before, but he had put together two 2 years of back-to-back, probably winning his 2 classes. And in 2 years, he had like 50 overalls or something, 2.5 years, 3 years, whatever it was. I mean, it was just insane. Whether it was 2 or 3 years. Yeah. Whatever it was, he had 50 overalls just about in that time. And the dude basically wins every time out and has stacked up so many wins at this point. I can't, like, again, this was years ago that I factored all this in and figured out all the numbers of overalls and moto wins and stuff since he came back to vet class racing. And shoot, definitely deserve it. Obviously, like you said, you almost named this thing in his honor. But pretty cool. It's going to be hard for anybody to knock off Jeff Robbins for this award as long as he's racing.
Well, I think he's at least from what I gather, he may be going part-time next year.
Oh, really? Okay.
I don't know if he has a serious plan yet to race or not race or race part of them. Who knows? But I guess if he were to decide to kind of take a step back and just run a handful, that kind of opens it up. And then we've also got a change in the class structure in those classes here. Next year, 40 and 30 will be split, 40A, 40B, 30A, 30B. So that, I guess, kind of opens up the opportunity for more competition for this award.
Sure. Well, it's going to be exciting. I love the vet classes. And as a younger person, I didn't realize this, but as you've been around the sport for a while and watch people, kind of go and maybe come back or whatever it is.
Yep.
Some of these guys don't want to race against the B class racers and the A class racers or whatever the class is anymore. It's they want to race guys maybe that are in their same position in life and aren't going to break themselves in half to go win and whatever. So super cool that we have the vet classes and just super cool to honor Jeff in this way with this ATV Silverback Award. So we know that Kevin Saar won the AMA ATV Pro Rookie of the Year award. Of course, that's a numerical thing. Whoever finishes highest as a rookie with the most points there is going to win that one. So welcome to the club there, Kev. Joel Hetrick's mechanic, Gary, won the Mechanic of the Year award, of course. What about the MJ5 ATV Ambassador Award in memory of Michelle Jenkins? Who got that one, Jeremy?
So we had to do our usual secrecy. I think we kept it a pretty good secret. I guess I'm not 100% sure this guy knew or didn't know.
Okay.
Never indicated that he knew, but we gave that to Gloop.
Yeah.
That was good. We had Brian Jenkins present that to him. He seemed surprised, so I think we got him. But he was very appreciative. I saw a post by him today and was I very much appreciated it. And I commented that it was deserved and overdue. So he does so much for us with promotion and videos and all the things he chases everyone around the country in a Sprinter van, just filming us and making us look good. And he deserves some recognition.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, hard to imagine the sport as we know it without Gloop and all the things that he does. So yeah, probably hard to sneak that one by him with somebody who's so involved with every step of all of this. But yeah, pretty cool if you did, pretty special if you did, and actually got a surprise on him. That's special.
I think I had a 50-50 shot and he had a smile and he was pretty happy about it. And I think it was cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well deserved for sure. And then the ATVMX Special Recognition Award. Fill me in on that one.
Jack Moore.
Jack Moore.
Nice. Jack is so I thought about this and I've actually gotten a couple ideas for next year, which I don't really need to go into, but Jack Moore at 65 years old, still riding a 2-stroke.
Yep. And
I just thought, you know what? I'll be lucky if I'm able to walk at 65. And this guy's actually going out back and riding and having fun and racing his race. And I can remember him like at High Point in 98. Like he's been around stuff for a while, and actually, I don't even know. I don't think he was even racing or riding then. He was just helping his daughter, Angela.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's just coming to the races because he wants to, and he rides and races. So
yeah, it's amazing.
Kudos to Jack. He's been supporting the series for a long time, and I thought he deserves some recognition. It's just mainly for his age and his ability to still go out and ride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very, very special. I love seeing Jack at the races. Obviously, think about Angela every time I see him. And the one thing about Jack, he's always smiling and always happy. He always has a story to tell. All these things, so very fitting to get that award to Jack Moore. Finally, I know this one. So much goes into this one, Jeremy. But tell me about the Race Team of the Year award.
Oh, yeah, this one's a tough one. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out the most fair way to analyze / decide / just try to make it fair. We have so many teams that vary in size, number of riders, youth, amateur, pros. Some teams with 4, some teams with 18. I spent probably a whole Sunday working in Microsoft Excel, just looking at the teams and their points, and I come to a couple conclusions early on. We can't have one. We can't have just one, like the amateur versus the youth teams,
sure.
Because the youth are only scored or judged or however you want to look at it on 6 events, and the amateurs are 7.
I see.
So when I ran the numbers a number of times, a good amateur team just was able to score the few more points for that extra round and get a higher average. And across the board, those teams had a higher average point score than the youth. So lesson 1, we'll have a youth team of the year and an amateur team of the year, amateur / pro team of the year.
Okay.
And then the next problem, teams that had 4 versus teams that had 18. And sometimes having 18 was positive and sometimes it was negative.
I understand. Yep.
It's the average points. So I picked somewhere in the middle, and we took the 8 highest point earning members.
Okay.
And assessed the team by their 8 best.
Okay.
And then, but not to preclude championship bonus points. So we basically developed their points based on those 8. You didn't have to have 8. If you had less than 8 riders, you were averaged by 4, 5, 6, whatever you had. But then we added the championship bonus points to that number to arrive at a conclusion.
Nice. Well, I like that. I like that whole premise. I like that whole thought because it's a way to truly figure out an average. So credit to you for kind of figuring out a system or coming up with a system that kind of figures all that out to come up with an average of the racers, to be able to make it work for teams who have 3 riders and teams that have, like you said, 18. It also doesn't hurt a team that has 18.
Right.
So yeah, credit to you for coming up with a way to kind of find a true average for something like that. That's pretty special.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin.
The following message is brought to you by Manscaped.com. The Manscaped engineering team has outdone themselves this time, creating the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, now available for purchase in the U.S. and Canada. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, an official sponsor of the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast, with this exclusive offer of 20% off and free worldwide shipping with code DIGGINGDEEP20 at Manscaped.com. I'm one of the first people to try the new 4.0 and I am blown away. This thing is next level. What sets this trimmer apart from all the rest? The Lawnmower 4.0 gives you the ability to turn the LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. It features a new multi-functioning on-off switch with travel lock for those of us who like to travel. And my favorite, the new trimmer allows you to customize your trim with 4 different guard lengths, an upgrade from its predecessor that only featured 2. If you're listening, you know that good tools are a must, so wait no more to get the best tools for the job. Get 20% off and free shipping with code DiggingDeep20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com by using code DiggingDeep20.
Hey everyone, this is Larry Mills, president of DP Brakes North America and proud partner of the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast. We at DP Brakes are a longtime supporter of ATV racing and the world leader in sintered brake technology, dominating the ATV world for decades by supporting the best four-wheeled racers on the planet. This year's lineup includes Jeff Rastrelli, Mark Baldwin and Baldwin Motorsports, Ford Brothers Racing, Nick Janusa, and many more, including Mr. Digging Deep himself, Cody Jansen. Plus all the top 17 GNCC pros such as 7-time champion Walker Fowler, Bryson Neal, Hunter Hart, Cole Richardson, Jared McClure, Adam McGill, and previous champion Chris Borich. These top riders continue to appreciate the high performance and impressive durability that their DP brakes have to offer. Products ultimately help place them on top of the podium week after week. DP brakes are available through www.dp-brakes.com, or you can purchase them through your local Parts Unlimited stocking dealer, or you can even message us, myself, Larry Mills, or DP Brakes on Instagram or Facebook. And if you have any questions about product or sponsorship support, please ask us. We are waiting for you. Join the best ATV riders in the world equipped with DP Brakes, and have a great year, everyone.
Nearing 2 decades into the brand's existence, Factory 43 is back and better than ever, continuing to make major waves in the ATV world. For the 3rd consecutive season, Factory 43 is the official aluminum parts choice of the Phoenix Racing ATV team, providing their state-of-the-art Evo Nerf bars, MX-style front bumpers, and grab bars for 2-time champ Joel Hetrick. If you're in the market to upgrade your Nerf bars, bumpers, or grab bars, head over to factory43atv.com to see their full line of industry-leading products available for all makes and models. Head over to factory43atv.com today. You've been trying to figure this out for a number of years, I think, trying to ease this process, right? Because otherwise, you can't just, it's so hard to have a vote. Like, you can't have a vote because the popular vote is just going to be the team that's the biggest or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's a really hard thing.
I wanted something numerical based, something I could like explain to people. Say, look, these was based on points, but I mean, there's more to it. But I think moving forward, I've started to tell people, and I'll tell everyone right now, next year by round 3, I want team rosters, team photo. I want you to name your riders then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we will have amateur/pro teams, and we'll have youth teams, and they can't coexist. They can't mix. You can't have 4 youth and 1 amateur. You need to have, if you're going to have 2 teams, it's 3 rider minimum. You can field 2 teams, but we're going to need that earlier in the game. So we don't have any funny business at the end with riders being claimed by different teams. But I think everybody did a fairly good job. I know it was kind of a scramble because we kind of thought of this a little late. So kudos to the people who did send me information and worked with helping us get to that point.
Yeah, that's awesome. Awesome to hear. Again, it's an impossible feat to try to make everybody happy and all these things as far as like this award goes. Just remembering my 15 years or whatever of watching this happen at these banquets or whatever. But I really think that it feels like you came up with a way to make it like a true, by the book results kind of that's how you earn team of the year. And to me, it makes it more meaningful than ever that you've come up with a system, because the person or the team, I should say, that wins it is going to have, like, there's going to be no doubt that they earned this thing. So with that, tell me who won the 2023 team of the year.
This year, the youth team of the year went to G-Force Power Sports.
Okay. Well deserved.
It was pretty close. I still need to pull I kind of agreed to hand over some, not the actual points sheet, but the kind of the difference, what they won by.
Okay. Yep.
They barely edged out JC Racing. It was close. I think JC had 6 championships that we could count for youth. And I want to say G-Force either had the same or maybe one more. It was really close.
Okay.
But numerically, G-Force edged them out for the team of the year.
Okay.
Now, knowing JC Racing and Jared Corn, you watch. They'll come back with a vengeance next year, probably with 2 teams, if I were to guess.
Yeah. I don't doubt that. They've been such a great youth team for many years now at this point. And I would assume that Landon will still be on a 250. So, right?
I don't think so.
Oh no, you're right. I did see that. I did, because he raced Monster Mountain. That's, you and I talked about this months ago. You're right. So that takes away, kind of a top dog from this youth team here. So yeah, interesting.
But that also could be a springboard for him to create an too.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So I mean, if they continue along, I mean, they got some riders, I think, that are going to move up to be amateurs full time.
Okay.
So I think that team actually has the best chance to win both.
Okay. Okay. Well, that would be a feat for sure. So then tell me about the amateur team, or the amateur / pro. Tell me about that award for team of the year.
Well, that one was won by TDR.
Yeah, I had to figure that Timmy's team was going to win that one.
They were. I mean, it was pretty close with him and music. But Timmy ended up with Kinsey won WMX and Mason won Pro-Am Pro Sport. That pretty much kind of sealed it up. It was so close. If Brett if he could have eked out Pro Sport, that could have changed the whole thing.
Yeah, they could have went back to back. Yeah.
Right. It was really close, like close enough that I had to quadruple check it several times.
So it was just as close as the battle for Pro Sport. Just like you said, that one came down to an actual tie in points. So this one came just about that close.
Yeah, no actual tie in my spreadsheet, but it was not far. Okay. I mean, I'd have to relook at it, but I'm pretty confident in our results, and I think TDR kind of shined there in the amateur side. And I guess if anyone else out there wants to put their hat in the ring for 24 at 3-rider minimum, need a team photo, need a team roster, and we'll put you in the database for the end of 24, and we'll see how your team does.
Yeah, well, I love to hear it. Credit to both G-Force and TDR. Just to comment on Timmy's team there, TDR for a moment. I mean, we've watched it, kind of grow throughout the years here very authentically, and just to see what he's built there. I mean, you go over on a race weekend and you see all the quads over there. You see the pictures of his race shop and everything going on in there, plus the quality of the racers and the championships and the all the wins and all these things that his riders have done. It's credit to Timmy. I can't imagine what his workload or work schedule looks like. It's got to be insane. So credit to both of those teams. I mean, to win team of the year, man, is really, really special. And like I said, I truly think that it means more now than ever before, being that it's in no way, and I'm not discrediting the way it was done in the past, but at sometimes it was like, okay, was it a popularity vote kind of thing? And that's not something that's ever going to be said as long as we're doing it the way that you're figuring it out, Jeremy. So credit to these teams and credit to you as well.
Thank you. One other award I wanted to bring up, number one sponsor was pretty much a landslide for 88 Live to Ride. I think Debbie, I kind of think she won it last year, but this year was a little more special because, this year was the 20th anniversary of Matt in 88 Live to Ride. And it was, very fitting. She does so much people don't realize, or a number of people don't realize that 88 Live to Ride pretty much handles all of the money in and money out for the banquet.
Wow.
It's pretty much, she's kind of like the bank, if you will,
Sure.
that brings sponsorship money in just for the banquet. And we use that, we got a separate income expense sheet we set up for that, and we keep track of everything. But she kind of handles I guess the purse strings, if you will, for banquet funds, and she just does it because she loves the racing and the series and the banquet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, credit to Debbie, credit to 88 Live to Ride. Obviously, I remember kind of probably echoing the same sentiment a year ago when she won this award. But there's people out there, and there's probably only a handful of them, but there's people out there who you can't picture ATV motocross here in the United States without them. And she is one of those people. Now, there's people all over the world that listen to the show that follow ATV motocross. ATV motocross here in the United States, our series is the absolute benchmark. It's the pinnacle. It's what everybody looks up to. But what we know as our series, what we know as this life that we live, there's just a handful of people that have their fingers on the pulse of this thing and really make it go. And for a long time, Debbie has been one of those people. So I know we talked about it as we kind of covered we talked to David and kind of previewing Loretta's part of that show. We talked about the new structure there and 88 Live to Ride's involvement with that and all those things. We talked about Debbie and 88 Live to Ride a year ago on this exact show as well when she won this award. But just want to take this moment to thank Debbie for all she's done for myself and for the sport that we love over the years. She's just the best. She's awesome. I love Debbie. And again, she deserves so much that I don't have the words. I couldn't thank her enough for all that she does for the sport that we love. But she's really given her life to this thing. And I think we're all indebted to her for that.
Yeah, for sure. I couldn't agree more. Like, I couldn't think of a more fitting company. I mean, all of our sponsors are great.
Yes.
We definitely owe them a debt of gratitude, but Debbie's just a super special person, and I don't think anyone would argue with her winning this award. That's for sure.
Yep, couldn't agree more. So congrats again to Debbie for that. And man, what a night, what a season. And now the focus shifts to 2024 almost instantly, I would think, as people kind of close the book, the chapter on 2023 when the awards banquet is complete. Now it's like, what's next? And we discussed on the previous episode with Tom Ebden, the 2024 schedule is here. Of course, I know you're kind of part of that process, obviously. So let's finish up by looking at this schedule. And Jeremy, I'd love to hear your kind of thoughts as the series will kick off once again inside Daytona International Speedway with the Daytona ATV Supercross. Underground is back as the first full-on ATV national for all classes. Gatorback is out for 2024, and Etchikani is in for the first time since 2015, which I think is so cool. And then it's pretty normal with Ironman, High Point, Budds Creek is back on the schedule. Sunset Ridge, Pleasure Valley for the 4th of July weekend. And your track, of course, Briarcliff is back as round 9, and then the finale at Loretta. So, Jeremy, your thoughts on the 2024 schedule? You know kind of what went into compiling this whole thing. So just give me your authentic thoughts on this thing.
I think it's a great schedule. I'm really kind of happy that some of the younger generation is going to get to go to Etchikani.
Yes.
I think I first raced there in about 2000. And I can't remember if Donnie Banks ran it then still.
I think he did. Yes, I think he did. Yep. Georgia. Yep.
But I can remember Jeremiah was racing. A lot of memories from Etchikani, rough track. And I felt, it was one of my suggestions, or at least one of the things I encouraged, because we don't have Red Bud and sandy track. So it almost needed to add some balance for the riders who like sandier tracks.
Yep.
So I think it's a good choice. The promoter there is excited to host us. If he has any questions, I know that they've given my number to him, and I'll be happy to help him any way I can with questions and answers and that sort of thing. So
Matt Walker was the guy there for a while. Is he still there or not anymore?
It is Matt. Matt's there. I was kind of struggling to remember the name, but it's Matt Walker who is going to promote that event.
A big Matt Walker fan in about 2004 when he was riding for Mitch Payton at Pro Circuit Kawasaki. Big fan.
Right. So I think there's some want there for him. He wants to do a good job.
Good.
He would like to see it returned. So
awesome.
we're going to try to give him the best opportunity to do a great job, and hopefully we can make that a staple.
I love that, Jeremy, because it's kind of like you said, it not only does it bring the sand factor into it, which I love. You want that, like you said, you want that balance. You want the tracks to all be a little different, right? And you want to add that to the series. So that part is very special. Like we were kind of touching on though, and I've talked myself blue in the face about this on the last episode and with some of our posts and whatever, but I love the nostalgia factor that you kind of get with Etchikani. Just is the early 2000s is kind of where when I think of Etchikani, from about 2000, like you said, to about 2005. And I love that nostalgia factor getting added into the series here with Etchikani being back on the schedule. And we could talk about it all we want. In 2015, when it was back on the schedule, I was so psyched because we were going back there, and by about midday Friday, I'm like, oh man, I don't know that I want this back on the schedule. It gets so nasty. So some of these racers, man, they're in for it. And I love it. I'm so glad it's back.
Success in the ATV MX world is similar to what creates financial success as well. The right people, the right advice, and more importantly, hard work and the benefit of an ongoing relationship as situations change and adversity is experienced. Do you have the right financial advisor to help you reach your goals? Haymauer Financial Group can create a personalized, goal-based plan to help your family prepare for whatever life brings. Call me, Scott Haymauer, at Haymauer Financial Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, at 920-338-8150. That's 920-338-8150. Offices located in beautiful De Pere, Wisconsin, with registrations and clients nationwide.
Headlined by the 4130 Chromoly, Launderville Steel and Concrete Supply is a full-service steel supplier of new and surplus steel, aluminum, and stainless steel products. This racing family-owned full metal service center and concrete product supplier comes with over 30 years of experience serving the entire United States from their central Midwest location. As the #1 choice for nationwide shipments and with available next-day delivery in select areas, LSE has you covered near or far. 4130 is not just the chromoly tubing and plate used in the building of chassis for an array of motorsports applications, but it is also the name of the newest addition to the Pro Paddock with riders Jaden JJ Launderville and Max Lindquist, introducing the new 4130 Motorsports team. Launderville Steel offers a large selection of material for any project, including their concrete division that can supply everything you need to complete your next business or personal project. For a quote or more info, visit laundervillesteel.com today or give them a call at 715-675-6193. That's 715-675-6193. Here at Digging Deep, we have an obvious passion for ATVs and pridefully enjoy sharing the sport's history. Since 2019, when the podcast was born, we've been working to partner with individuals who share our passion, but one man and his vision had been missing from our partnership group. Until now. When it comes to the sport's history, the hallowed grounds of Binky's Forever ATC Museum has it all. Binky Tapscott's mind-blowing collection of 3- and 4-wheelers has preserved history by spanning all makes and models from Honda 3-wheelers in chronological order to unique builds that shaped ATV racing as we know it, like Doug Gust's iconic DRZ-powered hybrid thumper and everything in between. There's no denying Binky's passion, a passion that we certainly relate to here at Digging Deep. Binky's goal is to share his amazing collection with fellow enthusiasts by making his prized possessions accessible to the public via scheduled visits. Follow Forever ATC Museum on Facebook and watch foreveratc.com for further updates on possibly getting a chance to see Binky's Forever ATC Museum for yourself. we are proud to welcome Binky's Forever ATC Museum to the Digging Deep family. As the #1 podcast in ATV racing, it's only right that we partner with the industry leaders in suspension tuning. Insert Impact Solutions. Impact Solutions is a full-service ATV and side-by-side suspension center specializing in the revalving and service of your motocross and off-road suspension. With over 25 years of elite-level knowledge, experience, and testing with riders of all ages and ability levels, Jay Goebel and the Impact crew strive to exceed clients' expectations for service and setup. Impact Solutions is the official Elka Suspension Service Center of the United States, offering unmatched product knowledge and experience. Whether you're in need of service, parts, warranty, sales, or technical support, Impact Solutions has you covered. Head over to ImpactSolutionsATV.com or give them a call today. With the desire to keep you in the race, Ultimate Poly Products offers the ultimate protection collection of case savers, chain sliders, intake manifolds, and more. Founded on quality in 1998, this family-owned and operated business produces products created by racers for racers. These industry-leading products are proudly made and manufactured in the USA, with their case savers being made of the highest quality American-made polyurethane on the market and designed to completely conform to your engine case to help prevent case damage from a thrown chain, because no one wants to be a spectator on race day. Join top pro riders like Bryson Neal, Walker Fowler, John Glotta Jr., Adam McGill, Cole Richardson, and more by using UPP Racing products. Use discount code DIGGINGDEEP15 at uppracing.com to save on your next order. Ultimate Poly Products, made to last longer so you can ride more. Thanks for listening, and remember to support our partners. Now back to the show. Some of these racers, man, they're in for it, and I love it. I'm so glad it's back.
There's a lot of history there. I can recall Digger Doug Gust. He brought both the 250R and the DRZ there.
That's where it started.
Yep, that's exactly where it was. And then I can also remember Timmy Farr. He had a red CRF Walsh hybrid there that was kind of introduced early. The other memory I have is Jeremiah Jones racing an LRD aluminum framed 250R with the yellow plastic there.
Yep.
There was so many things I can kind of remember from the old days that happened at Etchicani. I think it's time and maybe with Matt Walker's help, we have a good race there, a good weekend. So
I think so too. And I love for you to say that, he would like to, see this become a thing for years to come. So I love to hear that. But yeah, after Etchicani, then it's maybe more a little status quo. So I don't know if you got any comments on that, but your race is back on the schedule, back as the penultimate round, which I love. So give me your thoughts on the schedule following Etchicani there.
I think it's good. One thing that I heard a lot of was holiday weekends.
Yep.
And I didn't really push this, but it just kind of came out this way. But we're not on Memorial Day weekend for the first time I can ever remember. So I think that's a move in the right direction. Some families like it, some families don't like it. Some people say, well, we're with our real families at the races, but there are people who would like to celebrate some holidays, with other extended families. So I don't think it's a bad thing. We still have 4th of July to celebrate with race family. I think that schedule moving forward is pretty good. My race, we moved it back a week. It's a week later.
Okay.
Mostly because I really didn't know to think about this in 23, but we landed right on the TT at Pine Lake.
Yeah, I remember that.
You wouldn't think that's a big deal, but we actually have a handful, 5 to 10 racers that would race both. They're primarily TT, but they would come race our national if there was not a TT. So I had us get it back to the old Redbud date, which is what we're on for 24.
I like that. So. I like that. I don't like I mean, it's cool, I guess, for the state of Ohio to have all that going on in one weekend, but people can't be in two places at once, right? So probably a good thing that that obviously Ashtabula and Briarcliff, both in Ohio, aren't on the same weekend. Good thing
Right.
to have it, kind of back-to-back weekends, right? If you're from elsewhere, you can come to Ohio and race one
Yep.
and maybe hang out in the area and race the next one and then go home. But yeah, I think that's probably a good move.
Yep. Loretta's, that's our staple final stop. I think overall the schedule's a decent schedule.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, and I've been pretty vocal about it. I kind of wish we had Monster Mountain on it. I'm not gonna lay off of that.
Well, there's a lot of people grinning from ear to ear right now, Jeremy, I'm sure.
Yeah, I really want to come race that track. So who knows? Maybe in the future. But that's probably the only thing that did not occur with the schedule that I still would have liked to have seen. But it's a good schedule. We got a lot of good tracks that want us, and that's the most important part. So
yeah, that's awesome. I can't remember. Did we go to Monster Mountain twice, or was it just one time?
I think it was once, but that was kind of before my serious time with the series. I don't recall.
I can't remember if we did it once or twice, but I do remember the one year pretty vividly because it was my birthday weekend and I was on the event t-shirt, which was pretty awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
So to have it be at Monster Mountain, like I would have liked to have been at one of my local ones here, like Sunset Ridge or Redbud or whatever, but to be the guy that was on the Monster Mountain t-shirt was pretty rad.
Pretty awesome. That's a good memory.
Yeah, for sure. So hopefully I know there's a lot of people that want that thing back on the schedule. I think it would be a good draw just because people want it, but I love the schedule that we do have. I think it like I said, I obviously love all the times that we have. Obviously have Daytona on there. It should be the 10-year anniversary, but COVID, or the 10th annual, I should say, but COVID kind of messed up that 1 year. So next year would be number 10. Love Underground, obviously, at Chicani. The nostalgia factor, like I said, is really cool. And then all the rest of the rounds are staples for a reason because they're really good to us. So can't wait. But Jeremy, I probably kept you long enough here. I can't thank you enough for your time as always. I really enjoy these Banquet recap shows, and some of the specialty awards don't always get covered that much. So I like to kind of highlight those, and I like to fill people in on the stuff that they maybe happened that they didn't see. But man, for now, you got me fired up for 2024. Thankfully, it'll be here. It'll be here before we know it, Jeremy. Thank goodness.
Oh, for sure. We'll be loading trailers and heading south in no time.
Yeah. I say thank goodness, but I know there's probably just as many people out there saying, whoa, we need to pump the brakes. I need more time to get stuff ready, because I know that exact feeling too.
Oh, yeah. Yep, that's for sure. It comes and goes pretty quick. But, for anybody that's been doing this for a little while, that's just part of it.
That's just part of it. We live this whole song and dance, and I think if we had a less chaotic life, we wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, well, how would that work? Like a life less ordinary or something like that.
Exactly. But yeah, as always, Jeremy, I can't thank you enough for your time, for making time for us here at Digging Deep, and I'm sure we'll talk soon. But we had this circled on the schedule to talk about the Banquet here. I really appreciate your time kind of covering it, and I know that you put a lot of time and effort into making that whole Banquet and the series as a whole. You kind of morphed into this role where it wasn't long ago that you were hoping to just have a national back after that national in 2014, I think, and. Yep. And, you got your foot back in the door, you slayed your national, and now, man, you have your hand on so much of the series. And I truly think that the series is better for it. So thank you for all you do for obviously for Digging Deep. I love that you're a part of all of this with me. When we can get you on here, when you can make time for us, but for all the stuff that you do for our series as a whole, on behalf of the ATV Motocross community, I want to thank you, because our series and our sport is better for it, pal.
Well, thank you very much. One other thing I went down at the Banquet I thought would be worth noting. Yeah. The season WMX gave me like a recognition award for the work I've done with that program and the sponsors and everything. And I just wanted to thank them once again for doing that. It was very nice. A lot of people thank me, but I don't ever get awards. So it was kind of cool to get a nice little glass trophy and with my name on it, and it's up here on my small little trophy shelf I have with all 20 awards versus Kenzie's 4 or 5 with countless surrounding me right now. So
Nice.
I got my nice little recognition award up there.
Nice. Well, very, very well deserved. Very well deserved there, Jeremy.
One other thing, I've pretty much come to the conclusion on this Legends race for motocross. 10 years out of the game. So you, sir, do not qualify. You are
Okay.
You've been racing. We need no activity, 10 years.
Wow.
Like just like the bomber class. You gotta be out of the game for a while. So
Wow.
we'll send all the C-class warriors and the mini parents out on the computers to figure out who's eligible.
Nice. Well, so is this going to happen at Briarcliff? Is that the plan here?
That is the plan. And now that the banquet's over, I'm going to start putting out feelers for who's interested in the first ever Legends Invitational of ATV Motocross.
Ooh, I like it. So how does that work? Like, okay, now you got me going, Jeremy. I was already ready to say bye to you, but now you got me going because so how does that work? Like with like the guys that race the Legends race at Astabula, does that reset the timer?
No, I'm thinking more like, to be quite honest, if you've held a pro license.
Okay.
That's step number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, you have not competed. We'll just say at an ATV national in 10 years.
And that's what I was hoping you were getting at. Cause I want guys like Shane Hitt comes right to mind. Right.
Yeah. We're not going to go after a fair race or a local race or even the TT race at Ashtabula.
Yeah. You want your rules to include deserving guys, not exclude guys. That's what I was getting at.
Yeah. I mean, we want guys that we have not seen race competitively, like seriously, for 10 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm not worried about the TT thing at Ashtabula.
Good.
But if you've raced the ATV National Series in the last 10 years, I don't think I'm just trying to figure out a line in the sand.
I get it. Oh, I get it.
In my mind, that 10 years, that's not really that far back.
No, it's not.
What, the year before my first national, 2013. So
that feels like it was yesterday, Jeremy.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't seem like it's that long ago. So
no, not at all.
There's a number of racers that are eligible to race that I think qualify. And if you don't, maybe in 5 years we'll do it again.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I love that. That's gonna make that weekend that much more special. Can't wait to be there for it, obviously. But yeah, man, now you're gonna have the whole internet talking about this Legends race at Briarcliff. It's gonna be the place to be, man. It was already gonna be the place to be, but this is gonna just make that weekend that much more special. I cannot freaking wait for that.
Yeah, we might have to develop a Joker lane just for that class.
Oh, I love that. Oh, hell yeah.
Something fun. They have to come in and go through the Joker lane and drink a Pepsi or something. I don't know.
Maybe we can make you don't want a monster truck tire, but maybe you can make an ode to like the what was that called? The Great Outdoors games.
Cool. Yeah. The Great Outdoors with ESPN or whatever.
Yeah. There was like some logs in there, I think, or whatever. That would be cool.
We don't want to injure our legend.
Yeah, you're right. But man, I cannot wait for that. That's going to be really, really special there at round 9 of the ATV Motocross National Championship. But with that, Jeremy, the 2023 season had already kind of come to an end with the award ceremony being in our rearview mirror. But this is kind of the last nail in the coffin on the 2023 season. What a season it was. And it's been fun to look forward to 2024. I'm sure we'll do that plenty more times here in the off season. But with that, Jeremy, I can't thank you enough for your time once again, as always, here on the show. Thanks for all you do for the sport that we love. And I'm sure we'll get you back on here in the coming months to talk a little ATV motocross with us.
For sure. And you are welcome. And I think I speak for everyone when I say we thank you for what you do for the sport. Your podcast is, I can't even imagine a time, like it seems like this is like the normal now. It seems like I can't even imagine a time when we didn't have your podcast to enjoy the racing while we're not racing. It's pretty cool. So
yeah, well, we just want to add to it, right? That was my whole goal, is to add to the sport that we love, the coverage, that we enjoy. Like you said earlier in the episode, Gloop does so much, and we're just trying to add to that. Tremella and all the people that do so much great coverage of the sport, we're just trying to add to it. So we got some cool stuff coming up in the off season here. Now that this is kind of the last current events thing for a while. But we got some really fun stuff on the docket. But again, Jeremy, thanks for everything. You're the man, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay, pal?
All right. Thanks, Cody. Have a good night.
Thanks again, buddy. That's Jeremy Osborn signing off on the Digging Deep ATVMX podcast, brought to you by UPP Racing and UPPRacing.com. Have a good night, pal. Thanks. And just like that, every aspect of the 2023 ATV Motocross season is complete. It's on to 2024. Thanks to tonight's guest, Jeremy Osborn. Thanks to producer Dallas Jansen, my brother, for all his hard work. Thanks to Brooke and AMA official Harv Whipple. Thanks to all of our donors. You know who you are. We appreciate you so much. Thanks to all of our partners. CST Tires. Go to shop.csttires.com today. Yamaha, thanks to Blue Crew. Thanks to SSI Decals, Valvoline, DID Racing Chain, Namura Technologies, Bronco ATV and UTV Components, Launderville Steel Enterprises and Concrete Supply, the financial advice of the Haymauer Financial Group, DP Brakes, Factory 43, Binky's Forever ATC Museum, Impact Solutions, Ultimate Poly Products, UPP Racing. Use code DiggingDeep15 at uppracing.com, and Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with code DiggingDeep20 at manscaped.com. Support the brands that support our show, and don't forget to use those codes to save. Find it all on our website, and be sure to click that Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner for all your gear and parts needs and to help us out. And most of all, thanks to you guys for listening. Last call for anybody wanting to give the gift of Digging Deep merch this holiday season. Shop.diggingdeepatvmx.com is where you'll find all of our apparel. Anybody getting antsy for ATV Fantasy can check out any and all Digging Deep ATV Fantasy info at atvfantasy.com. And if you're looking for another easy way to help support us, visit our website and click the Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee buttons. This allows you to set up a one-time or monthly contribution to support our efforts. Follow the show on social media, Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast, and myself, Cody Jansen, for additional content, coverage, and more fun stuff this off-season. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. Wherever you find podcasts, you'll find the Digging Deep ATVMX podcast. All episodes, additional podcast providers, sponsor links, and discount codes, show merchandise, fantasy info, and more can all be found on our website, diggingdeepatvmx.com, so check that out today. Be a friend, tell a friend, please download, subscribe, rate, review, and share. And with that, for Jeremy Osborn, Brooke Jansen, Dallas Jansen, and I'm your host, Cody Jansen. Thanks for listening to and making us the most listened to podcast in ATV racing, with nearly 243,000 downloads last month in 105 total countries. Until next time, thanks for joining us in Digging Deep with the Stars of ATV Motocross. Things are crashing and burning here at the Digging Deep podcast, much like the Titanic.
Those guys were hauling ass, for real.
I remember watching Doug Gus, I don't know who it was, Steel City, running the same times Friday afternoon as James Stewart was on Sunday back then. It was mental. I've never seen quads go that fast.
Quad leaders are freaking